At 70 years old, Reba McEntire speaks with the kind of clarity that only decades of living can bring. Her words no longer chase headlines or approval. They rest comfortably in honesty. Known worldwide as the Queen of Country Music, Reba has spent her life telling stories through song. But in recent years, she has also become more open about the personal relationships that shaped her beyond the stage. Among those relationships is her bond with Kelly Clarkson, a fellow powerhouse vocalist and former daughter-in-law. For years, fans speculated about the nature of their connection, especially after family dynamics changed. Rather than fueling rumors, Reba has chosen calm reflection. Her perspective is not about conflict, but compassion. At this stage in life, Reba isn't rewriting the past. She's simply telling it as it truly was, with grace, understanding, and a deep respect for love that doesn't disappear when circumstances change. Roots in Oklahoma and a life grounded in music. Reba McEntire was born on March 28, 1955, in McAlester, Oklahoma, into a family where hard work and harmony went hand in hand. Raised in a rodeo-centered household, she learned discipline from her father, a champion steer roper, and emotional awareness from her mother, a school teacher who encouraged creativity. Music filled their home, especially during long car rides where Reba and her siblings sang together. These moments were not performances, but expressions of connection. From a young age, Reba understood that music could bring people closer and help them endure life's challenges. That grounding never left her. Even as her career soared, she remained deeply tied to her roots. Her upbringing shaped not just her sound, but her character, teaching her humility, resilience, and an appreciation for honesty that would later define both her artistry and her relationships. The long road to becoming a country icon, Reba's rise to fame was steady rather than sudden. After being discovered singing the national anthem at a rodeo event in 1974, she moved to Nashville with hope and determination. Her early recordings achieved modest success, but recognition came slowly. Rather than becoming discouraged, Reba worked harder, balancing her music career with college studies and relentless touring. By the 1980s, her voice began to stand out in a crowded industry. Songs like How Blue and Somebody Should Leave resonated deeply, not because they were flashy, but because they felt real. Reba didn't just sing lyrics, she inhabited them. Audiences trusted her voice because it sounded lived in. Over time, that authenticity earned her lasting success. She became a storyteller for everyday people, proving that longevity in music comes not from chasing trends, but from staying emotionally truthful. Stardom, loss, and emotional resilience. As Reba's career flourished through the 1980s and 1990s, her personal life tested her strength in ways few could imagine. One of the most devastating moments came in 1991, when a plane crash took the lives of several members of her touring band. The loss shook her deeply and forced her to confront grief while continuing to perform. Rather than retreating, Reba honored their memory by moving forward with intention and care. That experience reshaped her understanding of life, loss, and responsibility. It taught her that strength does not mean silence, and leadership does not mean emotional distance. These lessons would later influence how she supported others through difficult transitions. Reba's resilience was never about pretending pain didn't exist. It was about acknowledging it, learning from it, and allowing empathy to guide her choices both on stage and off. Love, marriage, and the complexity of family. Reba's personal relationships evolved alongside her career, particularly her marriages, which played important roles in her life story. Her second marriage to Narvel Blackstock in 1989 blended family and business, creating a partnership that lasted over 2 decades. Together, they built a successful management company and raised a family that included children from previous relationships. Reba embraced her role as a stepmother with sincerity and care. Family, to her, was defined by presence and commitment rather than labels. Although the marriage eventually ended, Reba has spoken openly about the difficulty of that transition and the emotional weight it carried. Divorce, she has said, is never simple, especially when love, history, and shared responsibility are involved. Yet, even after separation, Reba continued to value respect, understanding, and emotional maturity. principles that shaped her ongoing relationships. Kelly Clarkson enters Reba's life long before family ties connected them. Reba McEntire recognized Kelly Clarkson as a remarkable talent. After Kelly's rise to fame following American Idol, Reba admired her voice, authenticity, and emotional honesty. When Kelly later married Brandon Blackstock, Reba welcomed her not only as an artist but as family. Their relationship grew naturally, built on shared experiences in music and mutual respect. They performed together, laughed together, and supported one another in a demanding industry. Reba has often spoken fondly of Kelly's warmth and humor, noting how grounded she remained despite immense success. Rather than competition, there was admiration. Rather than hierarchy, there was kinship. For Reba, Kelly was never just connected through marriage. She was someone whose character, work ethic, and devotion to family earned lasting respect. Navigating change without choosing sides. When Kelly Clarkson and Brandon Blackstock eventually divorced, public curiosity intensified. Many wondered how Reba would respond given her close ties to both. Reba's answer was characteristically thoughtful. She acknowledged that divorce is painful for everyone involved and emphasized that love does not vanish simply because relationships change. Reba refused to frame the situation as one that required sides. Instead, she focused on empathy. She has openly stated that she cares deeply for Kelly and respects her strength as both an artist and a mother. For Reba, compassion mattered more than public opinion. She understood the complexity of blended families and believed that maintaining kindness was more important than maintaining appearances. Her response reflected years of experience navigating personal loss, change, and healing. It was not avoidance, it was wisdom. Respect that endures beyond circumstance. Reba has been clear that her respect for Kelly Clarkson never diminished after the divorce. On the contrary, she has expressed admiration for Kelly's resilience and dedication to her children. Reba recognizes the courage it takes to rebuild life after major transitions, especially under public scrutiny. She has spoken about the importance of allowing people to grow without judgment and honoring the shared history that remains. For Reba, family bonds are not erased by legal changes, they evolve. She continues to support Kelly's career and celebrates her accomplishments from a place of genuine pride. Their relationship may no longer be defined by family structure, but it is still rooted in mutual respect and care. Reba's perspective challenges the idea that relationships must end completely when circumstances shift, offering a more compassionate model of connection. A woman speaking from lived wisdom. At this stage in her life, Reba McEntire speaks less as a celebrity and more as a woman who has lived fully. Her reflections on Kelly Clarkson come not from obligation, but from truth. She understands grief, reinvention, and the long road back to stability. Those experiences have shaped her into a steady presence for others. Reba believes that honesty delivered with kindness can heal more than silence ever could. Her words carry weight because they are not reactive. They are reflective. She does not romanticize hardship, but she does believe in growth. Through her openness, she offers reassurance that respect can survive change and that love does not have to be loud to be lasting. In a culture that often thrives on division, Reba's voice remains calm, grounded, and deeply human. A legacy built on grace, not drama. Reba McEntire's legacy is not defined solely by awards, chart-topping hits, or television success. It is defined by how she treats people during moments that don't come with applause. Her relationship with Kelly Clarkson stands as a testament to emotional maturity in a world that often expects conflict. By choosing grace over speculation and compassion over commentary, Reba reminds us that truth does not need to be dramatic to be powerful. At 70, she continues to lead not just with talent, but with heart. Her story shows that family can take many forms, respect can endure change, and kindness is a choice made daily. In telling her truth, Reba doesn't close a chapter. She honors it, proving that dignity and empathy are the most enduring forms of strength.